Welcome, sadhakas. Privileged we are. We are on the fortunate pilgrimage of transcendence into Shri Vidya Kshetra. Shri is Ved. Shri is Dev. Shri Vidya Kshetra. Kshetra is the southern hemisphere, value 19, equal to the mind. And Vidya is of value 18. 18 and 19 together are 37, equal to the transcendental code value of Shri Bhagavan. This is equal to the full and half unit hypercubes 5 as value of the self-referral origin of 6 space, of 5 space. 6 space as origin of 5 space is the Vidya Kshetra. Origin of 5 space is the Vidya Kshetra. Shri Vidya Kshetra is lively at origin of 5 space. It is transcendental domain. Today we are going for first learning step. And this learning step is the way Lord Brahma, Creator, the Supreme Himself, follows by transcending within a cavity of His own heart, where is the seat of the transcendental Lord Shiv, and with the grace of the transcendental Lord, Lord Brahma multiplies as 10 Brahmas in Shiv Lok. This is the first learning step. This is the initiation. This is the way one can be parallel with Vedic systems to have initiation for comprehending, glimpsing, attaining, imbibing the lively values of Shri Vidya Kshetra. The Shri Vidya Kshetra is the first learning step, parallel with the way Lord Brahma, Creator, the Supreme Himself, had attained the grace of the transcendental Lord Shiv. This Vidya Kshetra is lively at the origin of 5 space. This Vidya Kshetra is 6 space Kshetra in the role of origin of 5 space. Surya is a 6 space body. Sun as origin of our space, transcendental space as such, is the domain which we are going to enter upon. To enter upon this domain, we have to learn. And by learning, the first step is going to be as that Shri Vidya Kshetra is lively as per Par Braham, as Brahman grace. Shri Vidya Kshetra is lively as per Par Braham, as Brahman grace. And as such, it is ahead of Nav Braham, but as Nav Braham itself. Shri Vidya Kshetra is lively as per Par Braham, as Brahman grace. And as such, it is ahead of Nav Braham, but as Nav Braham itself. Ganita sutras approach it as Ganita Sutra 2, Nikhilam Navatascaramam Dasatah, all from 9 and last from 10. Human frame has 9 manifests and 10th transcendental, dsham dwar, gateway to Shri Vidya Kshetra. The simple mathematical formatting for the same may be as 10 points range being of 9 gaps. Let me state it again. Let me go slowly. Shri Vidya Kshetra is lively as per Par Braham, as Brahman grace, and as such, it is ahead of Nav Braham, but as Nav Braham itself. Ganita Sutras approach it as Ganita Sutra 2, Nikhilam Navatascaramam Dasatah, all from 9 and last from 10. Human frame has 10 dwars, and the 10th is transcendental, and it is the gateway to Shri Vidya Kshetra. The simple mathematical formatting for the same may be as 10 points range being of 9 gaps. The arithmetics parallel for it is the 10 place value system has 9 numerals. As such, the first learning step for Shri Vidya Kshetra is to imbibe the uniqueness of each of the 10 numbers of the numbers range 1 to 10, of which 1 is the first single digit number and 10 is the first double digit number. Let us, as first step, learn and imbibe distinctiveness of numbers 1 to 10. This learning begins and ends, concludes as 10 Saraswati mantras. On the computer screen is tabulation of these mantras. Om Parano Deviti, Om Ano Diviti, Om Pavaka Naiti, Om Ved Chitriti, Om Maho Araniti, Om Chatvari Vagiti, Om Yad Bhagavantiti, Om Devi Vachamiti, Om Taviti, Om Ambitamiti. On the computer screen is the tabulation of the transcendental code values of this text of these mantras, and the total summation value is 580. This is 25 more than 555. The total sutras of Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Darshan, and value 25 is the transcendental code value of the formulation Saraswati. And 580 is 58 multiplied by 10. And 58 is 29 plus 29. And 58 is the transcendental code value of formulation Krishna Duvai Pine, Vyas, author of Brahma Sutra. Sadhakas shall imbibe these values. One shall recite these mantras Patmatre, merely by reciting this text of these mantras. One will imbibe these values, and the imbibing of these values will transform the consciousness itself. The Chetan Avastha, the consciousness states with impulses of these values of Vedic sounds of these mantras will attain the desired attainment to enter Shri Vidya Kshetra Goddess Saraswati is the consort of Lord Brahma, Creator the Supreme. Lord Brahma, Creator the Supreme, is creator only as there is a grace of Goddess Saraswati. We sadhakas shall sit comfortably and recite these mantras. The values of these mantras, the sounds of these mantras shall get imprinted in our mind. Our memory shall be enriched by these sounds, and this as such will complete the first learning step. However, to have more blissful comprehension of the foundation of this learning step, let us be parallel with the transition and transformation format. It is from Shad Chakras to Das Chakras format. Human frame as a sthul sharir, as mundane body, is of Shad Chakras format. This Shad Chakras format inherently is created for its transition and transformation into Das Chakras. It is this phenomenon, it is this transcendental phenomenon, it is this transcendental transition and transformation of Shad Chakras format into Das Chakras format is the first attainment value of this step. Hypercube 2 as fourfold manifestation layer 0, 1, 2, 3 is of value 6. Hypercube 3 as fourfold transcendental setup 1, 2, 3, 4 is of value 10. So the format of transition and transformation is transition from hypercube 2 to hypercube 3. Hypercube 2 as a square is to be 4b raised to power 1, and hypercube 3 as a raised to power 3, 6b square takes us to 8 coordinates fixation for boundary of hypercube 2 and 18 coordinates as boundary of hypercube 3. The value 8 as 2 plus 6 and value 18 as 2 plus 6 plus 10 takes us to hypercubes 1 and 2 for hypercube 2 and hypercubes 1, 2 and 3 for hypercube 3. One shall sit comfortably and be parallel with these values. One shall imbibe these values that Lord Brahma, Creator the Supreme, is a four-head Lord with pair of eyes in each head. Transcendental Lord Shiv is a five-head Lord with 3 eyes in each head. So this transition and transformation is going to be transition and transformation from head with a pair of eyes to head with triple eyes. One shall sit comfortably and be parallel with these foundational features, as these are going to be the features attainable as first learning step. With this and in this background, we can sequentially glimpse the distinctiveness of numbers 1 to 10. Number value 1. 1 is distinctive, being the first of the range. Being first, 1 is only which has this distinctiveness. 1 is the first, none others is the first amongst this range. 2 is distinctive, being the only even prime. It is the only even prime, so it's distinctiveness. 3 is distinctive as it is the first odd prime. 3 is the first odd prime. No other number has this status, this value, this feature. 4 is distinctive as it is the first composite number. It is first composite. No other numbers is of this status. 5 is distinctive as it is half of 10. No other number is half of 10. Further, 10 points lead to 9 gaps, and 5 is of middle placement of range 1 to 9. So 5 is a middle placement of 9 points gaps, and 5 is half of the 10 points. Distinctiveness, real distinctiveness. 6 is distinctive as it is the first perfect number. Further, it is the unique perfect number as sum and product of the proper divisors 1, 2, 3 is 6, while no other perfect number has this feature. That is why 6 is the value of the first letter of the text of Ganita Sutras. So Vedic mathematics beginning, initiation is with this uniqueness, this distinctive feature of first perfect number. Number 7 is unique as it is the biggest prime of the range. Its uniqueness is in its bigness. It is the biggest. Now, 8 is unique. That is cube of only even prime. Further, cube is the synthetic setup of 8 subcubes. Further, 3 space splits into 8 octants by 3-dimensional frame of 3 spatial dimensions frame. And above all, the transcendental code value of formulation ek is 8. Still further, the formulation triya as well is of transcendental code value 8. This is the uniqueness which will take us up till eightfold nature, Asht Prakriti, the Chatushpit. 9 is unique as it is the biggest of the single digit numbers of range 1 to 10. Further, 9 is 3 square of the first odd prime. Still further, numbers pairs 8 and 9 constitute the only vertical reflection pair of first prime, odd, first prime even, swapping their places at base and index. And 10 is unique as it is the first and the only double-digit number of the numbers range 1 to 10. And still ahead, 10 is the last. One shall sit comfortably and one shall be parallel with these distinctive uniqueness features of the numbers 1 to 10. One is distinctive as it is of only one artifice parallel with one space of dimensional frame of one dimension. 2 is distinctive as it is of only artifice parallel with one space of dimension of one dimension with 1 as 2 or 2 as 1. 3 is distinctive as 3 as 1. 4 is distinctive as 4 as 1. 5 is distinctive as 5 is 1. 6 is distinctive as 6 is 1. 7 is distinctive as 7 is 1. 8 is distinctive as 8 is 1. 9 is distinctive as 9 is 1. 10 is distinctive as 10 is 1. 10 as 1, 9 as 1, 8 as 1, 7 as 1, 6 as 1, 5 as 1, 4 as 1, 3 as 1, 2 as 1, and 1 as 1. one shall sit comfortably and imbibe this distinctiveness, for 10 as 1, different than 9 as 1, different than 8 as 1, different than 7 as 1, different than 6 as 1, different than 5 as 1, different than 4 as 1, different than 3 as 1, different than 2 as 1, different than 1 as 1. 4 space with 2 spaces dimension leads to a pair of distinct units, 2 as 1 and 1 as 2. So 2 as 1, 1 as 2, 3 as 1, 1 as 3, 4 as 1, 1 as 4, 5 as 1, 1 as 5, 6 as 1, 1 as 6, 7 as 1, 1 as 7, 8 as 1, 1 as 8, 9 as 1, 1 as 9, 10 as 1, 1 as 10. These are the different characteristic features of uniqueness of numbers 1 to 10. This will take us number 1 to 1 space as hypercube 1, number 2 as 2 space as hypercube 2, number 3 as 3 space as hypercube 3, 4 as 4 space as hypercube 4, 5 as 5 space as hypercube 5, 6 as hypercube 6, 7 as hypercube 7, 10 as hypercube 10. This uniqueness deserves to be imbibed. And by imbibing this uniqueness, we will be having proper comprehension of the first learning step for glimpsing, imbibing Shri Vidya Kshetra. Thank you very much.